Hi guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you're brand new, welcome home if you're not. It's all good, right? Any rate, welcome. I am glad you're here. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading and our topic is things that you may not be expecting but are on their way to you, right? This could come in the form of a gift or a challenge or a blessing. Whatever it is, it's a thing that you don't expect, but it's on its way to you. And remember, always it's for you, right? It's for you. So let's choose. Pile number 1 is going to be guided by this beautiful amethyst point today, right? How does that feel to you, for you, right? We have a beautiful chunk of lepidolite. And we have a beautiful piece of Auralite. Right, lovely. So, which one of those do you feel drawn to? And if you don't feel drawn to any of those yet, you know we will be doing shuffling together and pile choosing together. So you have options. You can listen to one or all of these, whatever works for you. And as always, what does not resonate for you, you absolutely can leave here and keep right on moving. If these aren't your messages, that is a-okay. It might find you next time. Your message might be in a different video. Who knows? So if you want to wait and watch the shuffling and check out the cards that we pull for the piles and see it then, that's fine. If you already feel drawn to something, you can go ahead and click that timestamp down below and I will see you in your reading. Either way, be blessed. All right, gang. You know I love this part. This is where your intuition creates magic, right? We get to create together. How beautiful is that? So let's start working on our piles. And remember that today we are working on what is coming that you do not expect, right? Whether that is a person, an event, an idea, who knows? It doesn't matter. But it's something that is on its way to you, something that's encoded, right, in your process, perhaps even in your very DNA, and it's getting ready to be activated. And so these are messages that you need, right, that can help guide you regardless of where you are on your journey. Wow. Okay, then we're going to take this as a message. So this is a Reiki symbol. I am a Reiki master, right? And so this is the power symbol. I think that it's significant in that what we're talking about is what is on its way to you. So if you stopped and you're choosing to listen to this part of the message, let's let that be your message, right? So this is an activation, right? We use this word. So in whatever messaging you are available for today, let's assume that that message is coming in the form of an activation. And what that means to me is a sealing, right, of power. So I love that. That's like calling in an imprint of your soul, right? So this could be something that you know, or something that you experience, or something that shows itself to you. And in that showing, it becomes part of who and what you are. And the thing is, right, when we're talking about energy or any kind of energy medicine or energy work, the thing is we're not creating something from nothing, right? Energy can never be created or destroyed, just like matter, simply because matter is just a form, a solidification of energy. And so what we're talking about is the way that you are in constant creation of whatever is coming in for you, right? So we're just going to grab these cards here, and that's 1, 1, and 1. Yeah, I love that. 2, and 2, and 2. Wow. Yeah. So the other thing about this symbol, 3, 3, and 3, is if you notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? This hits all the major chakras that are on your energetic midline. And so it is a full system activation. So in terms of really witnessing what we're talking about today, I think that's lovely, simply because it's going to, obviously, for those of you who are listening here, this is going to be a full-scale system upgrade. And, okay, hold on. Let's count. One more. Okay. Yeah. I like that, guys. I like it a lot. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of messages are coming in for you today. Whether they're known or unknown, right? This is an important distinction, I think, as we create from our highest good and the highest good of all, knowing that that energy simply exists, right? And it just comes through us as us. Okay, hold on. All right, guys, here are your 3 piles. So if you've watched this far, you already know that we've got pile number 1, which is our amethyst point. We've got pile number 2, which is lepidolite, and pile number 3, which is auralite. And what we're looking for are insights into what is coming in for you, what you may not expect, but is already unfolding in a very powerful way for you. This might be something in the form of something that's already embedded or encoded into your system or DNA, and it's now asking to be activated and initiated, right? So I'm going to give you just a minute. If you want to forward and click to your timestamp, that's absolutely okay. I do want to remind you that if this message or any message don't resonate for you, please feel free to leave them here. Pick up what works for you, right? And leave whatever doesn't behind. So, yeah. I'll see you in your message. How about that? Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your messages. You have chosen the beautiful amethyst point and these cards, right? So let's get right in. Let's see what's going on for you. Lost lands. Soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Well, first of all, of course you have. We all have, right? So the messaging here is absolutely about the way that you are moving through your life, right? So the key here is, how are you unpacking the gifts, right, that you're bringing? If your soul memories and your soul messaging has been specific, or if you keep on coming back to the same things, right? Those are messages. Those are definitely messages. So what are your soul's memories, right? What do you feel drawn to, and how do you feel like creating, right? So the sacral chakra, that is it's between your root and your solar plexus, right? So it's between your foundations and your power. And so this is a message of creation and sexuality and how you believe that you have the right to create, right? So what is it that you're pulling in that could affect that one way or the other? How do you believe that you're standing in your ability to create the path? Okay. All right. So pile number 1. How are you moving, right? Are you in a rut, right? So as we have this path, right, this is literally how we are moving through life. And if you have lost lands, how are you disconnected from the places that you believe you need to be, or from the places that you're choosing to go? right? Where is your karma in alignment with the way and place that you've been before? What are you carrying? Are you walking the path? Are you becoming the path, right? Let's see what the tarot has to say here. The Emperor, of course. The Six of Wands. The Two of Wands. Right. So the Emperor messages are all about the way that you have done this before, right? What is your rut? The Emperor says, this is how we do things. This is what we do, right? So there's very little in the way of new opportunity or new creation when it comes to the Emperor, right? The Emperor wants the path to be the path. He wants the way to be the way, the method to be the method. But here's the thing. We don't get here by simply walking in the rut of our own path. There's a great phrase that says, a rut is just a coffin missing two sides as of yet, right? So how are you moving through life on your path without creation? Or are you in creation, right? The Emperor says perhaps you've not been creating. The difference here is the Six of Wands is about victory and achievement, and we definitely can have a sense of achievement in that what we've always done is what we always do. And if it's netted us anything good, then of course we're going to keep creating that. But the Two of Wands asks you, are you actually moving in your highest and best way? Are you creating in alignment with your soul memories and your gifts? Or are you simply walking the path? Are you writing that story? Or are you just trudging along in the same vein? It might bring you temporary success, but is it in your highest and best? Let's keep going. The Hermit. Right, so this is definitely an activation in terms of our lost lands, our soul's memories and gifts. What are we looking for? Where is that light that dwells within us, right? Have we found it, or are we just keeping going, right? There's no secret that both of these cards here ask us to find that light within, and this lost lands asks us to widen our field of vision. Right? We might not be able to see what we need to see if we're just looking down, or if we're just looking in front of us. Right? We have to take in the whole landscape in order to create from our highest and best. You've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. Sorry. So, of course, as we know, aces are always gifts from the universe, extended. We have to welcome those gifts, and then we have to put them into action, right? You've got a lot of wands here, a lot of action. And even in these two majors, you've got the staff of the Emperor and the staff of the Hermit. And so, you know, our path card has a staff. It's not like there's not engagement. It's not like there's not a call to create. It's not like you're not feeling the impulse, the draw, the passionate nudge, right? That yearning for creation. The Emperor, though, that is it's a card that advises you to err on the side of caution, right? Here's the thing. Sometimes our soul memories advise us to err on the side of caution. Don't try that. It might not get you where you want to go, right? It might lead you down the same path. But here's the thing. If something is calling you, if you're being invited, there's a reason. If something feels like it deserves your attention, there's a reason. There's a reason for that, pile number one. And, you know, I always love to draw attention to the Two of Wands. In any standard Two of Wands, there's always one wand that's higher than the other, right? And if we take our messenger here, That messenger is always steering us toward the highest, right? The highest and best. Because sometimes our vision, right? Our vision is not as clear, right? Sometimes the atmosphere or the surroundings in which we're looking is weighted by whatever we may have come to this with, this choice point, right? And if we want to, you know, Six of Wands is definitely a card of victory, but it's also a card of achievement and gaining recognition, right, for your victories. So if you're controlled or dominated, or if you're motivated, right, wands are all about what's behind your motivation, your why. And if your motivation is to get that achievement, then you're really not in line with your creation. Then you're just creating as a robot. You're creating as a conveyor belt, right? You're not following your heart. You're not following your soul, which is what the Hermit absolutely looks at you to do. What is in your soul in order to be able to create that highest and best, right? To really hone in on what you're serving, right? Your soul memory. And it's okay that sometimes we fall into that muscle memory of this is how I do it, right? That's a real thing. It's okay to fall into that. But when you get this light within ace energy as your guiding light to move, then what you have to do is pay attention to how it feels, right? Where does it get you? Where does it feel in your body, right? The Emperor is a thinker. He's a thinker. The Hermit is an experiencer. The Ace of Pentacles asks you, where are you feeling this? And that's not just, you know, sense of touch, right? Earth energy wants you to be in your sensual experience. And that simply means, what are you seeing, feeling, hearing, tasting, smelling? What is your experience of whatever process you're being asked to walk, right? And if it's in alignment, by gosh, let's move. And if it's not, let's check out why, right? What's in the way of your creation on your path? You have gifts. You have soul memories. Are you putting them into action? Or are you withholding on them? Are you hedging on your bets? Are you erring on the side of, well, what's that going to get me, right? What recognition is that going to get me? Or how does that feel to me? How does that feel to me? How can I create something bigger, more, better, brighter, right? These are things that you want to be in mind of as you are unpacking and welcoming this next unexpected phase. So what is coming in for you, pile number one? What is coming in for you is a shift in your consciousness in terms of rigid expectation and falling in line with what should be, what could be, how I'm supposed to do a thing versus what sets me on fire. Where am I aligned, right? What is being given to me is an opportunity to create something that allows me to be in full expression and embodiment of that thing that's coming, right? It's going to light me from within instead of gaining merit or recognition or applause from without. And guess what? When you light yourself from within, when you understand that you are the path and you're walking the path, everything, the entire universe pours upon you gifts and resources, right? And the energy to move forward. So I would say for you, pile number one, what is coming in for you that is unexpected is a new way to relate to the things that you already have as new things pour on their way to you. It's going to be a heightened sense of being in alignment with your own path, with your own highest and best. And then also the awareness that follows is that whatever you choose as your path is already fully resourced, and all you have to do is step your foot onto it and all will be given, right? What a beautiful way to experience life, pile number one. I wish you all the best. If this is where you exit, please hit subscribe so that I can see you again. And take care. Be blessed. And if you wish to listen further, let's move into pile number two, shall we? Hey, pile number two. Welcome. Those of you who chose pile number two and this beautiful piece of Lepidolite. Let's get into your messages today. And remember, as always, what doesn't resonate for you, you just leave it here. That's fine. What you need to pick up, you go ahead and pick up. And feel free to run with it. If it doesn't resonate, though, leave it here. Somebody else might need it, and you might need to come back for it some other day. Either way, go ahead, please, and hit the subscribe button. And so that we can see one another again, right? Let's talk here. So you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. This is so lovely. What this says is you're walking your path, right? What's coming in for you that might be unexpected is simply the fact that it's unexpected, right? You might need to be aware that what's for you is not for the rest of the world. And the way that you're expected to show up might not be in alignment with a prescribed version of any story, right? Embrace your weirdness. Guess what? Everybody's weird. We're all just weird in different ways. That might be a Breakfast Club quote, maybe. Somebody check me on that, please. So your true north is your true north, right? The way that you're expected to show up is the only thing that's in alignment with your truth. It can't be with someone else's. And the more authentic you are in terms of your expression of your truth, you're really going to begin to magnetize to you the people who are part of your soul tribe, of your mission, of your heart. We also have the shadow here, which is quite lovely. So the shadow is really about witnessing things as they are, right? The moon's shadow phases, any planet in shadow phase is coming into its retrograde. And so it's a time where we're really witnessing things in clarity. And you know, one of the things that I try to teach each client as just a mantra for life is always ask, never wonder, right? So we're in constant search of clarity, and sometimes that clarity leads us to conclusions that aren't everyone else's conclusions, because beautifully our truth is always weighed through our perception. And so the way that we witness our shadow or shadows are simply in contrast to the light messages that we have encoded in each of our souls, right? Libra, right? So how are you balancing that? How are you finding harmony within that? And guess what? The key is that the only way that you can find harmony or balance is through your truth and your shadow work. And all shadows are doing are asking you, where is the balance of your light and darkness? No one else's, right? No one else's. So what could be coming in for you that's unexpected? Who knows? Let's find out. The Five of Wands, right? That's a card of posturing. The Tower, the Empress. Okay, so let's look at these three for right now. So the Five of Wands is a card of posturing, right? It's how you choose to hold on to your ideas or your beliefs or your whatever it is that you feel a need to defend, right? How you're called to defend yourself, right? And so sometimes the ways that we're called to defend ourselves are simply because we're not convinced of the lightness behind an idea or a pattern or in anything, right? And so where we choose to dig our heels in might mean that we're out of balance with the truth in any situation that belongs to us. We're choosing to witness something through its darkness as opposed to its balance of darkness and light, right? Because guess what? There are things that come in for you, and almost nothing is just a pure lightness or a pure darkness. They're generally balances, right? They're generally shades or gradients or hues, as opposed to this is how I'm going to stand here and defend myself, regardless of the ramifications or the implications or the consequences to any given situation. Now, you also have the Tower, which is cataclysmic destruction. This is so keep in mind, right, that what we're seeing is lightning, an idea that blows the top off of the tower. So what opens your crown? What brings a new awareness to you, right? This is Tower energy. And so what we witness as cataclysmic destruction simply is an awareness, right? Simply is a new initiation, a new infusion, let's call it, of light, of an idea. So we also have the Empress here. This is super grounded energy, right? This is the embodiment of feminine Venus energy. And so the way that you choose to stay grounded in light of something new coming in for you, a new awareness, a new perhaps reason to open your hands and release this stubbornness or this attachment to something, the way that you're balancing these energies, or the way that you release your balance and allow them to flow freely. That really talks about how you're stepping into your truth as opposed to someone else's. All right, so we have the Nine of Wands, very similar to the Five of Wands, and yet Knight of Swords and the Sun. Okay, so interesting. So the Nine of Wands is what you're holding on to, right? The reason that you're defending a thing. And so here's the deal. If something comes in and asks you, what is it? What's your reason? Why are you holding on so tightly here? There might be a need to find out why, to find out what is important, right? Or what the edge of your own personal event horizon when it comes to your consciousness is. It might be important. It might be important, but you have to know. You have to know what you're planting. You have to know what's fertilizing that ground around your ideas, right? If your tower is built on a faulty foundation, it is far more likely to be destroyed in the event of new ideas. Knight of Swords, right? This is the charge forth of that new idea, where it goes as a result. So if that new idea comes in, what are you going to do with it? How do you have that in motion? Is it serving your weirdness? Is it serving your authenticity? Is it serving the way you balance your internal and external, your head and your heart, right? Well, this last card here is the Sun. And so how you can sink yourself into that grounded state allows you to not be floating around, right? In the comparison with everyone else, right? Five of Wands is about how you are in comparison with, how you're choosing to just hold that idea and refuse to let anything else in. Nine of Wands says, wait, why? Why am I doing this? And the Empress gives you the foundation. It's either there or it's not. What you have sown will always bloom, whether it's in darkness or whether it's in light. Right? What you have sown will always bloom, whether it's in darkness or whether it's in light, because you are the balance. You're the choice. You're the chooser. What you're doing with that is all about you and how you choose to move forward. And if you can release or find out your why, then not only is your, let's call it growth and abundance, absolutely assured, but it's assured in every area of your life. The Sun is the happiest card of the deck. This is optimism. This is growth. This is warmth. This is all things, right? This is being in your highest embodiment. None of this matters here. The idea of it can either create with you, or it can destroy what is coming. And so if you're growing and planting from this beautiful place of authenticity, if you're balanced in your approach and you're willing to look at your whole spectrum as beautiful, right, then there's nothing that you can't withstand. There's nothing that you can't allow to come to fruition. So I think what's coming in for you that you don't expect, pile number 2, is the way, your reason, your why, a new way to, let's call it, gain perspective, or kind of understand your why. And that allows you then not only to choose whether or not you're going to be in defense of, right, what comes, but allows you to withstand anything that will come as a result of different ideas. And it will allow you to grow, to flourish, to create, to really create that solid foundation where anything, any of these ideas that you really believe in, your real why, your authentic juice, right? Because wands are all about juice and inspiration and what gets you moving through life. If you're not in alignment with those, I believe that your message about what to expect is your actual reason why, right? I think that whole moment of where the rubber meets the road, right? You're becoming in alignment with your event horizon and allowing what you're planting to be fully discerned, to be fully understood, so that what you're growing is in alignment with your real magic, right? What a beautiful thing to be in expectation of. So I love that. Let me know how that goes for you. If it resonates with you, pick it up, run with it. If not, leave it here. It's definitely someone else's message. And other than that, I'll see you next time. Until then, pile number 2, be blessed. All right, pile number 3, those of you who've chosen this beautiful Auralite, let's have a conversation about what your messages are. What is coming in for you that you may not expect, that you may not, that you might not have anticipated, but is absolutely embedded into your soul's DNA. Okay, so you have the Messenger card, right? This is about bringing harmony and balance. Here's the thing. Messages are lovely, right? So this is about how you already know. So I will say to you, you're probably not going to hear anything in this portion of this reading that's going to be a shock to you, but you might want to listen anyway, simply because you chose to show up here. So what you might not expect is your level of clair consciousness. And what I mean by that is we all have gifts. We all have pre-knowings, right? We all have what I call in my practice preloading, where all of those things in your world are here to help you define how and what you know. Okay, what you're here to do. Wow. Well, I think you're about to have a big, giant activation this year, right? So again, this is just about that third eye consciousness. This is about how you see behind and through, how your awareness and your understanding is already there, right? How you understand what is preloaded for you. Wow, you have got double messenger. You really have triple messenger here. So I hope you're paying attention, pile number 3. Let's get into your tarot and go from there. Okay, so you have the Ace of Swords, which is all about messaging. You have the Chariot, which is about balancing that messaging. And then you have the High Priestess, which is about inner, knowledge. What do you have going on here, pile number 3? I kind of like it. The 7 of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 4. Okay, so this is definitely an elevation of your consciousness. This is a motion from 3D consciousness to that transcendent, beyond dimensionality consciousness, right? So in whatever ways you are, the words that come in for you are accepting messages, it is about to be upgraded. It's about to be clarified and focused and honed in a way that you may not anticipate. It might be quite a shock for you. It literally might be as simple as one day you simply wake up and have a new experience of that clair consciousness, whether that is simply knowing, simply understanding, simply seeing. You might have a new attunement in terms of your visual acuities, or your hearing, your audio acuities, or just in the way that you perceive the world. It might be something that you have consciously turned off up till this point, that you have been believed that you could not access, or that you didn't have the right to access, or that you simply were told not to access, right? But whatever's coming in for you, this awakening, this awareness is not just an up level, but it is an off the chart leveling up of your entire experience. The Ace of Swords allows you to bring truth and clarity. It allows you to balance, right, this deep intuitive inner knowing with the experience and expression of, right? This is all about how you express, how you embody, how you create your own experience based on what you know to be true, right? How many times have you said, I don't know, I just know it. I just know that. Well, guess what? Your entire experience is about to become something different based on that knowing. Now, I will say, there is also inherent within every message the awareness that sometimes you have to let go of your expectation of how it comes into manifestation, right? Otherwise, just because you're given information doesn't mean that it's always going to come to pass. And here's why: because we have free will. We are inherently beings of free will. And so sometimes if you choose to put all of your faith into one expression of a potential embodiment, right? If you choose to narrow your field of focus and say, well, this is what I saw, so it must be in this way. It must look like this. It must taste like this. It must smell like this. Guess what? If it doesn't come in that way, then you perceive it as a failure or a disappointment. And so accepting the fact that with these gifts comes the not just the reliance upon, but the necessity of serendipity, right? It can come in this form or that form. It can come in whatever form it chooses, right? And the thing is, your acuities have to be so attuned in order that you may recognize it in whatever form it comes, right? That is the balance of head and heart. That is the balance of 3D and beyond. That is the balance of your internal versus your external awareness, right? It is not just about planting seeds. It's about letting those seeds become whatever they're going to become, and knowing that that's beautiful in and of its entire process. Seeing is seeing through every dimension. Gathering messages is gathering messages as they are, and not being in judgment of them, but being in discernment through those messages, through those dimensions, and witnessing yourself simply as the portal for the information, whatever the information is, right? No attachments, no attachments. That's the real meaning of holding space. So I believe for you, pile number 3, what is coming in for you is, again, this widening of your intake, right? It's an upgrading to your ability to be in witness to something in the universe, whatever that means to you, right? Just pay attention, because third eye awareness is not necessarily a visual acuity, right? It's balancing all of those things. And so if you're expecting it to look a certain way, you hear what I said? If you're expecting it to show up, if you're expecting the impression to be in a certain way, and then you're disappointed because it's not, right? What you expect a vision to look like, what you expect a message to sound like, then you open yourself up for a lot of confusion and waiting and misunderstandings. But if you simply take the message as the message, and allow it to unfold in and of its own volition, that's really channeling the message, right? So whatever this means to your capacity to be a wider channel for messages, for the divine, for your self-awareness, for anything to come in, that is your unexpected awareness. Pile number 3. That's going to be amazing. I want to hear about it. Keep me posted, right? And until next time, be blessed. Thanks for being here.